Hello everyone and welcome back to Game Brigade. My name is Brian and today I'm going to be taking part in the One Cube Challenge. We're basically trying to form a collection in one of these cubes and seeing what would our collection look like if we had the restriction. This is going to be a collaboration with a bunch of different channels. If you would like to check them out, I'll have a list of them down in the description down below. Remember to give them a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know what you guys think of our One Cube Challenge. So right off the bat, this was a challenge. If either of you guys know my collection, I love big box games. So trying to fill a Calyx cube here with games to be as if it was my only games I could have in a collection was a challenge. And so I looked at this from many different perspectives. One, I want to have games that can meet me in multiple different avenues. I could play them in different ways and we'll be able to have a wide grasping appeal. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about the first game, and that is Spires and Hildegard. Now this one is an adventure solo card game where you're going to be playing here as Hildegard, and you're going to be traveling on an adventure with kind of a choose-your-own-adventure like take. I've always enjoyed this game. It's one of my more favorite solo games. There are three different versions, I guess, or there's originally Spire's End, and they have Hildegard, and they just came up with a third one. I haven't gotten that one yet, but I really do love this game. The art is really good, very versatile. So if you want to check this one out, this is Hildegard, Spires End Hildegard, and I can't remember who actually makes this game. Farvid, I believe. Okay, next, let's take out one of my other, and unfortunately, there's gonna be a lot of solo games here, just because I was trying to think to myself, what kind of collection would I be able to build if I was restricted to this? So there's a few solo games in here, or games that give me a lot of value. The next one here is Death Angel, the card game, another solo game. And this is from Fantasy Flight. This is a hard game to find sometimes. Actually, the core game could be easy to find. Sometimes some of the expansions could be more difficult. But in this game, you're going to be taking on a different squad of these Warhammer 40k Marines, these Super Marines or whatever. And I can't remember what they're actually called now. But basically, you're going to be going through and fighting against different Tyranids with all these, like, challenges that you're going to have to complete. It's a very difficult game. It's one that I usually like to take with me in my small box, like if I'm looking for a traveling trip. This is one that always comes with me, and I can't see how I wouldn't want to include it in a small box challenge. Next is another variant of the same idea with the Death Angel, and that is 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games. Now, I have the three variants. In fact, they'll be hidden throughout this cube, but effectively these are also solo card games where you are going to be playing a challenge to try to complete each of the three different types of games with some little bit varying mechanics between the three, giving you some interesting, fun gameplay mechanics. These have been challenging for me. In fact, I haven't been able to beat many of the scenarios when I go out for them, so it's fun for me to keep trying to challenge myself and beat them. And I like how each of them provide a different variety. This is the one I have in the main box is the Solar Sentinels. It has a lot of big mechs and whatnot, but there are ones that have different varieties. And in fact, Chip Theory Games just came out with another one that's like Briarwood, I believe. I didn't buy that one, unfortunately, but yeah, 20 Strong. Really enjoy that game. Okay, the next one, this is going to be striving my competitive itch, and I kind of just grabbed some of the ways that I store this game, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this one, but this is Star Wars Unlimited from Fantasy Flight Games. So what I have here is I was able to grab two of my different deck boxes, so there's some decks in here that I can enjoy and play with, but I can also take this and play with other people. I struggled with this one, if this one would be a cheat, because I tried to get games that were all self-contained within themselves. Now, this is a game that's obviously expandable, plus playing with other people is part of the fun. But I could just take these decks and play with them and fit just fine in my collection for a while. So that's Star Wars Unlimited. I very, very much love that game. In fact, I would say it's almost overtaken Magic the Gathering for me in terms of my dueling head-to-head card game system. After that, what would be a tiny cube without a tiny epic? So I tried to think of which one would be the one that I'd like to play the most, and that's probably Pirates. I also debated between Vikings, but in terms of the profile of being able to fit in here, Tiny Epic Pirates gives me a lot of the joy with still keeping that small little profile. In this game, you're just basically playing as pirates, going around collecting your crew. It's got a really fun rondelle system. I think Tiny Epic does a really good job at delivering a thematic and enjoyable feel of a board game in a very small profile. And again, that's something I was trying to find here when I was doing this challenge. So that's Tiny Epic Pirates. Next, I've got Root, and I've got several expansions all fitting inside this single box. So this would give me a lot of different types of play experiences. This is from Leader Games, and I debated between this one and Arcs, but because of the amount of asymmetrical factions that I was able to fit into the single box here, I felt like Root would probably be the better option for me versus just the base game of Arcs when I'm looking for that, you know, competitive versus my friend, take that like idea where we're just kind of battling each other. I think Root is probably the best version of that type of game in the small box profile. So in this game, you are going to be playing one of the different types of woodland factions. You've got the Marquise de Cats, you've got the Eerie and the Birds, you've got the Vagabond running around doing their own little thing, you've got the Woodland Alliance, we've just a whole bunch of different types of animals with their own asymmetrical abilities, and they play completely different from everyone else. So while one person is trying to control the different types of territories and build up their forces, another one is doing underground guerrilla tactic warfare. It's really, really great game. It does require the players in the group to have a really good understanding what each faction's capabilities are and what they do, so you make sure everyone's playing correctly. But I really, really think Root is a special game, and I love its small form factor. Okay, so we're kind of getting here to the bigger boxes, and I decided to go with Lord of the Rings, the card game. This is also from Fantasy Flight. I think Fantasy Flight might be like one of my most owned companies in terms of all the production, or all the games I have in my collection. This is the Lord of the Rings card game. This is the living card game. I chose this one over Marvel Champions because Marvel Champions, in terms of what my collection is so expansive that I can't fit it down into a single box like I do have with the Lord of the Rings, the card game. This one is several expansions. I've got several different decks, several expansions fully built out within this box. And I also have campaigns that I can play in here, giving me a lot of different variety, a lot of different options. This is a living card game, which means every time you purchase a pack, in fact, I can show you an example. Here's a Marvel Champions pack that I bought. Everything in this pack that you have is fully contained. It's all the same cards, so there's no chasing rares or specific cards when you buy a pack. So when you're buying stuff like this, you're always going to get the same thing. But the idea is it's a deck construction game where you're going to build your deck, and then you're going to face against a specific type of threat or enemy that's going to have some different types of challenges for you to complete. And the fun comes from building that deck and then playing the game. Really enjoy Lord of the Rings. It's also got a great IP. I love the art in this one. So if you haven't played this one, I'd really recommend checking it out. This is one of the first living card games, and then Fantasy Flight kind of redid it, bringing it back, re-releasing all that stuff. So if you've missed any of the old stuff, now's a great time to jump in. I really love Lord of the Rings, the card game. Okay, let's go up to here to grab some of these small box games. This one is Cockroach Poker. Cockroach Poker was one that I picked up when I was trying to do a video idea of like 10 games to buy under $15. And this is one of the games I purchased for that video idea. I still have yet to post that video because I need to get more games under $15, or maybe it was $25, something like that, that are just stellar. But Cockroach Poker is definitely one of my favorite games at such a low profile of a box that I would highly recommend everyone to pick this one up if you don't have it. This is a bluffing game where effectively you're going to have cards with different types of animals on them. And you are going to try to pass your cards off, and you want to pass a card to someone and tell them that this is what they're going to be getting, like a fly or a cockroach, a spider, whatever the animal might be. But you could also be BSing. Now, if the person believes you, they can look at the card and they're going to have to pass it to someone else. And then they could actually change what the animal is or keep it the same. And effectively, it's a game of BS where someone's going to eventually call BS on you, and they're going to flip the card. And if it's right or wrong, then they're going to gain the card. So you don't want to gain cards. You want to make sure you're right. I very much enjoyed my games of Cockroach Poker. This is one of the best games that we play at the end of a night when we're done playing games and we're kind of like a weird player count. We just want to get finish the night with a good laugh. This is what I also recommend. I also really enjoy this when I have friends fly into town who aren't big board gamers, but we want to play some sort of a game. This is a great one for that option. So I can't not have Cockroach Poker in my list. Okay, so I'll get those later. Again, I've got too many bones. I've got both decks up here. I was able to fit them up here. I think I could have maybe found something that was super thin profile to stuff up here, but I found like these small boxes. So I got two more. That's too many bones. That one's the too many bones. The next one, perfect small box profile game, is Brass Birmingham. When I'm thinking of a really excellent game that comes in a really small profile of a box, such as this one, Brass Birmingham is it. This is an economic Euro game where players are going to be, I was going to show you the back, but it's so dark you can't really see anything. But in this game, players are going to be building up different types of infrastructure in a modernized London, or whatever, Birmingham, I guess. You're going to be building up textile plants, coal plants, iron plants, breweries, effectively trying to get the most points in a standard Euro game. It's really tight, really clean. I really enjoy the play of this one. I also love the fact that it has mechanics that you, as a gamer, you would never want to do, like taking a loan out, but it's necessary for the game to work. I love it. This is one that I don't think I've gotten bored with yet, with all the plays, and I would love to keep playing it. Now, as a note, there was another game I would have loved to include it, and I think I could have gotten it to fit, but the copy that I have that would fit for this, I don't have here. It's at another house, and that was my Castles of Burgundy. So I only have my special edition Castles of Burgundy, but I think the small original version of Castles of Burgundy, very similar in sense of Brass Birmingham being a super small box, yet being such a very, very good game. I would have loved to have had this one in there, but couldn't find it, or I guess it's not here at this house. Next, for the amount of content that I have inside this box of Maximum Apocalypse from Rock Manor Games is incredible. I don't know if I can actually show you guys this. This might be nuts of me. But just the amount of content that I have in here, I guess it's kind of crazy to even try to attempt to do this. I'm just going to lose everything. You have all these different types of decks to play with and all the villains. Effectively, what this game is, this is not just a solo game, but I kind of enjoy it as a solo game. I also enjoy this as a two-player game. Effectively, you're going to pick a hero who has their own deck type, and you're trying to make your way through an apocalyptic zone that's made up of different types of tiles. If we can kind of see here, I guess you can't really see any of the tiles. You're trying to make your way through these different tiles. You're going to be trying to loot from these tiles based on the type of tile it is. You're going to loot from a specific deck. So if you're at a hospital, you're going to get more medical supplies. If you're at a gas station, you might be getting food or gas. So you're going to get different types of supplies like that. And there's usually an objective you're trying to complete. So you're trying to get to a certain tile. And then you also have to make sure you've got fuel. And you want to make sure you get back to your van and get out before you get overrun by whatever villain you might include in the game. Those villains can be zombies, the aliens, robots, whatever you want, whatever you could think of would be an apocalyptic event. This has vampires. Like, there's so much variety here with not only the villain you're going to face, the tiles you're going to place, but also the decks you're going to play as. I've really enjoyed this one, and the fact that I have so much content in a small profile box like this one means it has to make the list. So that one is coming up there. And finally, I've got two games left. We already have the 20 Strong we talked about. This is the Victorum. This is the final game of 20 Strong. Again, I was able to fit all three of them in here into the small Calyx cube. Give me a lot of variety with these solo type games. And so that's the Victorum. But finally, I was able to get my Dune Imperium. Also with the Dune Uprising box, all in the same box here. So I've got both versions of the game. Now, for the most part, when I play this game, I'm almost entirely just playing the Uprising version at this point. But there has been times where we have gone back and played the original Imperium version. But effectively, this game is a deck building game where you're going to be playing as one of the different types of leaders in the Dune universe. And all of your leaders have a subtle little difference with their asymmetrical abilities, giving you just a little bit of a change for the gameplay aspect. And you're going to basically be doing some worker placement actions, getting some abilities from the cards you're going to be playing, adding cards into your deck as you try to get victory points. This is a race to 10 points. And I really enjoy how tight the gameplay is. The games usually come down to just a few points between the victors, and it's always a tight race till the end. I enjoyed the changes that Uprising brought to this game, enough that it's like permanently going to be included. That includes the sandworms, changing the combat math, the spies allowing players to go to block sections, as well as the card variety. I also really impressed that they were able to take the game from the original game and make it fully compatible, or this one backwards compatible with each other. So you have all the options with customization in terms of how do you want to build the deck, in terms of the tableau of available cards. Just a ton of variety, ton of options, and it makes sense that I would want this game in my one Calyx Cube collection. And that's it. That's going to round out the games that I have kind of found to fit inside a single Calyx Cube. Quite a bit of games here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 13 games in a single Calyx Cube. Not easy. I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. I want to see what your 1 cube Calyx collection is. In fact, you want a real challenge? Even if you haven't made a YouTube video, frickin' film one. Show me what you guys got. Show me what you got. I would love to see someone else's 1 cube Calyx challenge for your collection. And make sure you also check out the links down below for all the other creators in the challenge, so we can compare and see how other people would build their own collections. My name is Brian from Game Brigade. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you very soon.